Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. It's time for another week of What's for Dinner. I have lots of simple and delicious food to share with you this week. Let's get started.
I don't need to feel lonely. I am finally home at last.
We have a couple kids coming over today. It's Sunday and I'm going to make up some of this pasta salad. I had these in my pantry. Need to get them used up. I'm going to add other ingredients to it just to kind of make it a little more homemade, I guess.
Is I know I'm coming back.
All right, so I have a few hours before anybody comes over for dinner. It's only 2:20, and so I'm gonna get these salads started so that I can put them in the fridge and get them chilled. And I'm just starting with a regular old suddenly salad, creamy macaroni, which I've had in my pantry for a little while now. And so I'm going to add some imitation crab to that one, and then because I'm going to add shrimp too, but I have a child who has a shellfish allergy, so I will be making just this classic, that sounded really nasally, didn't it? Anyway, this classic suddenly salad, pasta salad, like the Italian seasoning kind. All right, so while wow, look at that. I'm having no luck with these potatoes today. Let's get that out of here. So I'm just going to cut off the bad pieces of these potatoes and get them chopped up into smaller pieces so that while my pasta is getting cooked up, I can get these veggies started.
Here than I can bear. Ooh. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you.
And that's how it's coming along so far. Well, the water over here is boiling, so I'm going to drop these macaroni noodles in real quick and get those going. And I just had a team meeting with myself, and we have decided that we're going to skip the Brussels sprouts because we're going to have so many other things going on. The Brussels sprouts still look like they're doing pretty good. They're not going to go bad, and I can make those on a different night for dinner this week. And so I'm just seasoning up the carrots and potatoes with some garlic powder and some extra virgin olive oil for now. And just to be nice to my hubby, I'm going to put some seasoning salt on here as well because he loves it and I rarely ever use it. Or I don't use it as much as he would like me to. Let's say that because I do use it. Okay, well, I've never had a red onion or purple onion, whatever this is, dye my hands like this. But look at that. Oh my gosh.
I don't need to feel lonely. I am finally home at last.
In the bowl, I've added about a cup of mayo along with the red onion and a bit of lemon juice. Then I just added the seasoning packet that came in the box. Then once that's all blended together, I'm just adding some imitation crab meat.
Is I know I'm coming back. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart.
I think I want to add one more ingredient, so hang on. All right, I'm gonna add just a dash of Old Bay seasoning. This is something that we use very sparingly because it's actually not a favorite. And anytime I've used it in the past, I've done a little too much. So we're gonna start with just a tad bit of it and then see how that works out for us. I don't want to ruin it, and that's definitely a spice that you can do too much of. So I'm going to taste this with another spoon and see how it tastes to me. And one of my little tricks or tips to mostly myself is to make my sauces or dressings on their own in the bowl before I add the rest of the ingredients, so I know if it needs more seasoning or whatever. Okay, and to me, I think it could use a little more lemon, so I'm gonna just put a splash of that in. Definitely can taste everything else. And I do like the way that the lemon juice thins down the dressing because I don't like super thick dressing in my pasta salads or potato salad or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna put in my pasta. It's all cooled off in some cold water. Make sure I get it all in there. So this particular box of pasta salad or macaroni salad, whatever this is, has peas in it. But you can always add more or whatever you like.
I don't know why I'm always feeling homesick.
It does look good though, doesn't it? Closer look. Maybe in the light. There we go. I was chopping up some bell peppers for our skewers later, and there were a few strips of red bell pepper that graciously volunteered to go into the crab salad. So I think that will bulk up that pasta salad a little more and give it some more color and dimension. So what went into this boxed macaroni salad? Some crab, some cheese, lemon juice, Old Bay, what else? Red onion and bell pepper. And so to me, it looks delicious. I already tasted the sauce and it tastes delicious. So hopefully everybody else likes it because I think it's going to be really good. I'm going to get that into the refrigerator so it can chill. And we're gonna start on the other salad, which is just this again, but with the Italian dressing that comes with it. So anyway, easy side dishes. Swing you all around my kitchen, back and forth, back and forth. I know I'm hopping around a lot, but that's how cooking goes. I mean, people on cooking shows make it look really easy when they just set up one meal or one side dish or whatever at a time, and they get to cook it start to finish, but this is real life. You do a lot of bouncing back and forth. I mean, that's what you got to do if you're trying to get everything done. I'll show you what I got going on now. So I have peppers, onions. Those were too little to use on skewers, so they're going to go into the pasta salad. Over here, we're just doing noodles part 2. So
standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets, and yesterday has gone to sleep.
for a cool dessert on this very hot Sunday, I'm making a batch of chocolate chip ice cream in my ice cream maker, and I'm just using a can of sweetened condensed milk and some heavy cream and some whole milk, and that's it. I will add a little bit of vanilla and some mini chocolate chips. I just love the simple flavors of homemade ice cream. I recently looked at the ingredient list on a box of store-bought ice cream and couldn't pronounce any of them except milk and words like extract. So there were lots of chemicals and additives.
Quiet voices in the night.
After I got the paddle and the lid on my ice cream maker, I just let it do all the work. Because we were having company, I made an extra large batch, so I'm just going to remove a little bit so that I have room to add the chocolate chips.
Making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see.
It was our little bitty granddaughter Joey's first time tasting ice cream, and she absolutely loved it. By this time, people were coming in and out of my kitchen, and it was getting difficult to record, so I wasn't able to record our kebabs besides the ones with shrimp. We made some other combos like steak and veggie, as well as some sausage and veggie kebabs, and this is my plate, as well as the ice cream afterwards with a couple of chocolate chip cookies alongside. After dinner, I brought little Miss Joey out for a walk around the garden. She was getting really fussy by this time, and I can't say that I blame her because, you know, grown-ups can be a little much sometimes. Isn't she just adorable, even when she's crying? I just love her so much. Next, I have a real-life collab with my hubby. So you'll be seeing both of our hands kind of coming in and out of these shots as we are just putting together a quick pan of chili. We just needed something simple and quick to throw together in one pot. And so I cooked up some ground beef, and then we just started adding to it. We have some rotel going in, some taco seasoning, some chili seasoning, 2 kinds of beans. I believe we did dark red kidney beans and some chili beans. And so here we are throwing in some chopped up onions, which Bill chopped up because I didn't feel like it. We did make some hot dogs on the side. Cameron had a friend spending the night, and so, you know, hot dogs are kid friendly, and beans always are not a favorite with kids. We added a can of Hormel chili to this just to use it up, and then threw in some Velveeta, some avocado, some salsa, and some tortilla chips. Tuesday is like the problem child of the week for me. It's the day that I work until 8 p.m. So we usually end up having a fend for yourself or you're on your own type of day for dinner. And so on this day, I think we all had things that we had to do, and we were out in the world in different areas, and we all ended up getting fast food or something for ourselves. On Wednesday, I went out and did a little grocery shopping in our backyard. We suddenly had an abundance of cucumbers, green beans, and cabbage. Oh, and many, many peppers. Bill volunteered to make dinner on this night, and we had planned on having burgers on the grill, but he found a really good deal on steak, and I will never complain about having steak for dinner. It seems like we've been having more steak than usual, but he did find a good place to get it, and so we're just going to go with it while we can. Here I'm just chopping up some of that cucumber fresh out of the garden, still warm from the sunshine even, and I'm going to make a simple salad to go with our steak. That's it. That's all we're having is steak and salad. There's no reason to make it more complicated than that. We're just going to have some tomato that we did get from the store because our tomatoes are not ready yet. We have lots and lots of green tomatoes coming in finally, but nothing that we can use yet. It won't be long, that's for sure. This is one of those big salads that you just look around and see what you have on hand and just start throwing it all together. So it did end up being a huge salad loaded with all kinds of yummy stuff like black olives, red onion, cheese, bacon bits. And then here are those steaks that Bill cooked on the grill. He roasted up a couple of our Hungarian wax and jalapeno peppers. It smelled so good, but they were super, super hot. So hot. I did put a little bit of that pepper on my steak, thinking I would try to eat it because I do like spicy food, but it was too hot for me. So I just kind of enjoyed the little bit of juice that got on my steak. And I gave the rest of the pepper to Bill because he likes super hot peppers, but I'm just not that brave. This was so simple and probably my favorite of the week. We made it to Thursday, and it's another day of improvising or making a meal out of what I had on hand. So I had some chicken tenders in my freezer, and I had them thawing out in my fridge for a couple of days, and they were still partially frozen. So maybe I need to turn my refrigerator down a little. I'm not sure. But all I'm doing is getting them cut into smaller bite-sized pieces, and I'm removing some of the bits of fat and whatever. I am kind of stuck here on something and then realized it is a whole wishbone. So I don't know. Does that mean I'm lucky or what? I don't know. Anyway, I got that wishbone out of my skinless, boneless chicken tenders and continued to get them cleaned up, looking closely for bones, obviously, because you never know what's going to happen with food these days. And so after I got it all cut up into bite-sized pieces, I put it in my skillet with a little olive oil, and I sprinkled on some minced onion and some garlic powder. Now I should have cut up some onion, but being super lazy, I guess, and I added a little bit of pepper and some celery and zucchini that I had already prepped and had in the freezer ready to go. I had a bag of California style vegetables, so those went in too. So I have some things from my garden, like these bits of green beans, and like I said, we're just throwing things together here. And so for a sauce, I decided to mix up a little bit of cocoa aminos with some water. I have about a cup of water and 3 tablespoons of cocoa aminos or soy sauce. And then I realized I had a partial bottle of this teriyaki marinade. So figuring that this would add some sweetness and some thickness to my sauce, I decided to go that route. And I have realized over time that you can kind of do anything you want to do when you're making a one skillet type of meal like this. And so I just added that sauce into the pan, gave it a nice little stir around and get it all mixed together. And so I had a box of white rice from the Chinese restaurant sitting in the fridge, and basically this whole meal is based on this box of rice, and I just got that mixed in and broken up and let it start to rehydrate a little and get cooked up into that sauce. I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper that I also found sitting in my freezer, put the lid on and let it cook all the way through, and that was just another simple weeknight meal that I just kind of threw together with what I had. I did make some cheesy garlic toast to go with it, just so that there was something on the side to bulk it up. This Friday dinner doesn't say Friday or summer to me, but my husband has been requesting sausage gravy, and he's my sweetheart and I love him. So sausage gravy and toast it is. We are just going to get the sausage cooked up, and then I'm gonna coat it with some flour, get that flour taste all cooked out of it, and then I add my milk. And so I used about 3 tablespoons of flour. Those were heaping tablespoons, and then I added this much milk. Now it's not something that I generally measure, I just go up to the line where the screws are, and I know for this size pan, that's how much milk and flour works for me, so I don't have to measure. I know people that season their sausage gravy with garlic or seasoned salt or whatever, this and that. I use a basic salt and pepper only, and I like a lot of pepper. I like to add it when I put my milk in so I can see it and I know how much I've added. We just had some simple fried up eggs on the side. I just salted and peppered those as well. It was very easy and simple, and on a Friday sometimes you need that. We had a long work week and it was finally over. I mean, it was either that or go out to eat, right? So anyway, once my gravy came to a nice simmer and it was all nice and bubbly, I just turned it off and let it sit on that hot burner until it cooled down on its own. And as it cools, the gravy will tighten up and get nice and thick. And here we are. This was our very easy, simple breakfast for dinner. It's Saturday and we went around and around on what we should do for dinner. I wanted pizza, whether it be something we make at home that was pizza flavored or if we ordered it in, and we opted to make something at home. So I am making these fun wraps that you see on TikTok. That first one was just a plain run-of-the-mill pepperoni and cheese for Dawson, and I am now making one for myself. I also make Bill and Cameron's the way they want them, but since mine had toppings and Dawson's did not, except for cheese and pepperoni, I wanted to show how to make one that was kind of on the plain side and one that has more than 2 or 3 toppings. So I have my slit cut in my extra large tortilla here, and I'm putting a little drizzle of pizza sauce. I ended up buying the squeezy bottle just because I wanted it to be fast and easy, and I thought this would be a fun way to set these up. So I did some sausage and some bacon on the triangle across from my pepperoni, and I have sauce on both of those sides. I did put some mushrooms and some banana peppers on the other 2 quadrants. And then next I'm just going to come in and put some cheese on all 4 sections. I did read somewhere that it is a good idea to put cheese on every section, and that will give like a binder for each triangle, so they all kind of stick together. And here I am just going to get these folded up, and then I will put them on my griddle and get them browned up. And this is a super simple, easy, and fun way to have pizza when you don't want to turn the oven on. And I definitely will not turn the oven on for anything right now because it is hot outside and it's not gonna cool off anytime soon, I guess. Anyway, here is what it looked like after it got all put together, and you can see all of those layers just kind of on top of each other. And I just grilled the one side on my griddle with some non-stick spray, and then I sprayed it again and gave it a flip until the other side was toasty and the cheese was all nice and melty. And here's what it looked like when it was all done. It was so ooey gooey, and it's super hot, so I'm using a knife just to show you what the inside looks like. There's no way in the world that I would bite into this right now. It is really hot. And then here is how it's meant to be eaten. Doesn't that look delicious? I did make a salad to go on the side. And here is my finished pizza. Like I said, this was perfect for a pizza night, and they're so easy to just pick up and hold in your hand and eat while sitting in front of the TV watching movies on a Saturday. And here's just a look at how all 4 pizzas looked when they were laid out before they got rolled up. And that's all I have for this week. I had a fun week, a busy week, like always. And I thank you all for coming by and watching my video. See you next time.
I'm feeling so